Okay, so this is the Bryan Young report. So, I'm in Indiana, and I'm on 70. This is for everybody that I'm trying to build up Mr. Carter Young's eBay account or YouTube account. So you need to like and subscribe if you can, and give me thumbs up if you like it. If you don't like it, I understand. I just took a nap. I normally never take naps when I'm driving, unless I'm in the past. I mean, I would take one in the maybe once in a while, but I do it a lot more nowadays. You know, and so what am I going to talk about today? Well, I did a Facebook this morning about Kevin McCarthy and just the state of the whole country, really. And there's two directions in which we are, in which we're in a situation. I gotta pull out here real quick and fix. Hold on a second. I gotta jump out of here real quick. Well, I don't know if that makes it any better. We are in two situations. We are in two situations right now. We are spending way too much money than our government is bringing in. And we passed this resolution bill to extend the spending. It just keeps kicking the can down the road. And the other dilemma that I see is when I'm on the road like this. You know, when I'm on the road like this, I just see so much. It's like being inside of a body, you know, and you're the trucks and the traffic is basically the blood, you know, and it's pumping, you know, and the body is, you've got traffic and you've got flow. And I just went through Indianapolis, and it was just nonstop catastrophic. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's the problem? Oh, everything's fine. Everything is wonderful. Everything is wonderful when you're... And then you look at all the data that's out there, and they show you all these charts and comparing this year to that year, and you wonder, okay, so what is true? What is true? Okay, and they've been talking. So when I opened up Young's newsstand in 1987, our debt was, I think, $7 trillion, or maybe it was $5 trillion. And I'm thinking, and everybody's saying, oh, that's just too much. Nothing happened. And now it's 32 trillion. What? What? Who cares? It's like, why just to erase the debt? Erase the debt completely, and just because the fact of the matter is, let's say that let's do an example. Okay, let's just do an example. Let's say that an asteroid was going to hit Earth. How much money would they spend to prevent it, or to help us survive it, or if there was an alien invasion? I'm not saying there is any. I'm just trying to use an example. Let's say there was an alien invasion. How much money would they spend? Or would there be a limit in which we would just spend? Like World War II. Was there a limit to our... I guess let's use World War II as a good example. So was there a limit of how much money could be spent to win the war against Germany and Japan? Was there a limit? Did they say, okay, it's going to be $1 trillion. We're not going to spend more than $1 trillion. Or was it, full force? And who paid for it in reality? Who really paid for all this? I mean, we are a $4 trillion economy. That's with the gloves on. Okay. We are a $4 trillion economy. America. Just America. And that's with all the communists and all the with all the communists and the socialists, running all these democratic states, suppressing the true potential of that state, like California. It could probably be, I think it's what, a $20 or $200 billion economy or something. I don't know what the economy of California is, but let's just say, for the sake of arguing, that it probably could be double that. Now, just so everybody knows, I cannot read any of these comments, okay? Because my screen is dark because of the sun, and I can't really read any of these comments. So unfortunately, I can't read any of the comments. All right, I can just say hi. So the question is, what could be California's? I think California could be, if the shackles were taken off of California and all the taxes were brought back to the 1960s, California could probably be double the size that it is right now in the way of economy. It could be double the size, easily double the size. And you can take that with every state in the union. if all of the restrictions were taken off, if regulations were cut, taxes were cut, if everything was cut, our economy would probably be I'm going to conservatively say, it could probably be a $10 trillion economy. Just America. Okay? There would be no one to stop it. It would be a dynamo that could not be stopped. Okay? It's that powerful. And that's just me traveling on. You hear me all the time when I'm driving, how all of the traffic, and and to me, the highways is like your vein in your body, and you want blood going through, and you want commerce. When I see all this stuff on here, I just don't get it. Something doesn't add up. You look at the Great Depression, which I think needs to be examined a little bit more in more detail. So we had the Great Depression, okay, and at the max you had about 20% unemployment. I think the height was 20% unemployment. And so then I'm thinking about, okay, well, 20% unemployment. So you still have 80% of Americans that were still working. 80% is a B plus, I think. I think an 80 is still a B. That means all the stuff that built and manufactured and everything, even at the height of the Depression, was still 80% efficient. Listen, I don't know any matrix that says, hey, if you have an 80% efficiency rate, that's bad. And so that's why I'm just saying, now granted, you had your people that were unemployed, but I'm just saying, okay, wait a minute. You had an 80% unemployment rate, or employment rate, and you just had 20% that were unemployed. Well, how does that make? Because we've had this idea that, well, and I'm really wondering, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we are headed for a great recession, okay? Another recession, okay? And I think we're already in one, but a very mild one. There's just too many people that are consuming and building and working and producing, This country was nothing like it was, I'd say, even back in 1970s. In the 1970s, I don't think this country was anything like it. All you have to do is go look at certain parts of this country that I could tell you right now, in the 1970s, it was a field. I can tell you one spot over near Perrysburg, right off the exit. When I went in the Navy, my sister lived in Holland, and there's two spots. I would get off Airport Highway, all right, to go see my sister. This is 1980, and maybe 1979. I think it was 1980, more in 1980. I'd get off the exit on Airport Highway, and I'd make a left. There were no lights. It was just all stop signs, no lights. And you would make a left, and you'd go up the hill and down, and there was 2 gas stations. They're not even there anymore. That were there back in 1980. Now, that's called Springfield Shopping Center, and it is just Everything is there. Everything that is there is because of the economic boom that happened during Ronald Reagan and cutting all the taxes. All the businesses there, every single one of them that were formed during the 1980s. During the 1980s. Then you go to 1990s with Bill Clinton. The only reason Bill Clinton was successful is because he agreed with the Republicans and they cut taxes with Newt Gingrich. And that is over on Route 20 in Perrysburg. There was nothing there. There were two hotels. One was called the French Quarter, and there was a Kroger there. And that was about it. Now it is all built up. All in the 90s. All in the 90s. Now you're probably saying to yourself, what does this have to do with now, Bryan? Why do you bring this up now? Well, because I bring it up because a lot of things don't add up. You know, they're constantly why is this screen so dark when I'm driving? But that screen is bright. I don't understand it. And I can't see anything in this screen. Oh well. Something is fading that screen. And so so I'm driving here, I'm seeing all this stuff being manufactured, made, and they're saying, well, there's a bubble here, there's a bubble there, there's an RV bubble, there's this bubble, there's that bubble, that we're in this bubble, and okay, all right, so let's say we have another depression. Well, first of all, back in the 1920s, I can't percentage amount of Americans that did not have electricity or a telephone, I think was almost 40% that didn't have electricity or a phone. We didn't have the welfare state, okay? I'm not saying things are bad, not bad. There are things that are bad. Yeah, I mean, there are people are struggling. But all I'm getting at is if you have a flat screen television in your house, okay, and you have one or more cell phones, you're not as destitute as you say you are. That's one thing. Now, I'm not saying that everybody is not suffering. What I'm saying is there's a disconnect somewhere that just doesn't add up. Something doesn't add up. And boy, I would love to know what that is. I mean, you hear lately, I mean, I listen to this one guy, the ninja economist, and Johnny something. You know, he's always predicting a fire, always this. But then I'm as I watch him and listen to him over the last couple months, nothing he says has come true. Economic ninja, that's it. That's it. Comes true. They predict doom and gloom. But what happens? Nothing. Nothing. Now, I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but I'm just saying, okay, I mean, if you really stop and think about it, 2020 shutting down, okay, so they the U.S. economy was literally humming like no other in 2020, okay? That's why we opened up Pro Tinker Toys before the pandemic. So we were taking a country humming like great, just moving like awesome. And we shut the whole world down for a fake pandemic. We literally shut the world down. Do you know how much money was spent? I'm thinking, what the heck? Where? And then, so, you know, are they trying to intentionally? You know, it's almost like they're in a room. You know, this evil cabal is just saying, hey, okay, this is how we're going to destroy the world, and they plan it out, and then they come back a month later and go, hey, it's not. What do you mean it's not working? Well, we can't. The economy's it's still working. Really? It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Now, see, here's a prime example of a person that doesn't know how to drive. He's in the left lane and he doesn't need to be. He could pull over so easily because there's nothing in front of him. And now he's speeding up when I just love it. Don't forget to give me thumbs up, make sure you like and subscribe. This is the Bryan Young Report, because I'm giving you perspectives that just, you know, all the other pundits can talk about it, but none of them are saying anything. None of them are making any sense. I like to think outside the box. I like to think okay, well, why is this happening? It's like Kevin McCarthy. He dug his own grave. It's not like what was happening wasn't predicted. He was elected on a very thin margin, and he was governing as a neocon, as a Bush neocon. I'm telling you, these Republicans, you know, in a sense, we need a clean house and just get rid of all these Bushes. Because I'm more convinced now that George Bush was probably the worst president that we've ever had as president. The worst president. TSA? Why is it the Republicans always seem, I think the best president that we've had, and I don't know if it's necessarily I don't know if it's necessarily Ronald Reagan. I think the best president we've ever had would be a tie between Eisenhower and Trump. Because there's no major department that was created during Trump. And none were created with Eisenhower. I mean, you could argue, say, well, the interstate system was a federal government. But it's not necessarily a I mean, it is it's not really an entity. Every state has its own entity, basically, of the interstate system, the Department of Transportation, basically. Ohio ODOT, Michigan DOT, or MDOT, you know, Cal CA DOT or CDOT, you know, all the different Department of Transportations. But what did Bush give us? What did he give us? Well, he gave us the Department of TSA. Oh, that's just wonderful. Over 40,000 employees of the federal government that get raises every time they want them. Absolutely the most useless government The most useless government entity. The most useless TSA employees. Absolutely useless. That should have been a state issue, but now they get a raise whenever they want them. Another perpetual employment. And then we had, during Nixon, we had OSHA, we had Department of Environment, what is it? All the departments that were designed under, and then the Disabilities Act. Oh, there's a good one. That really ruined it for a lot of. They say now, the statistics show that less people with disabilities are hired now than they did before. They just don't hire them. They don't interview those people. They just don't do it because they don't want to be a libel. Probably ask yourself, okay, what's going to fix this? You know, I honestly don't know what's going to fix this. I honestly think that in some ways we're too far gone. And then I think back and say, well, boy, it's hot outside. I'd like to know why this screen is so dark. Hold on, guys. We're going to go on a hiatus for a minute. If you guys can see me, I don't know how well it looks. There's one way to find out. Alright, never mind. Alright, well, it's okay. At least you guys can see me. I can't see anything. I think my screen is too dark. But I don't want to change it while I'm driving. I've got to get gas. I forgot to get gas. 91 miles. I can go 91 miles. I've gone 400. I've filled up one time. I filled up all the way right in Bowling Green. Well, no, about Dayton. I filled up in Dayton. That's where I filled up, is in Dayton. So I'm still on that gas tank. That's pretty good, actually. That is pretty good. You got a trucker that's broke down. So Kevin McCarthy was canned because we conspire with the Democrats too much. The Republicans always want to get along. We had John Boehner, which was an absolute failure. Then we had Paul Ryan, which was a traitor. Okay, and I'd say it to his face. I'd say, Paul Ryan, you are a traitor to this country. How much is your pension? That's what I'd ask him. How much is your pension? You don't deserve a dime of that. I'm sorry. I'm so sick and tired of these politicians that suck off the government tit, and then they want us to pay for it. And what does he do? He's now, a chairman of the board of Disney, I think, or something, destroying another company. I don't know if he's a part of that board. I know he's he's on the board of Fox. And as you see on Fox News last night, they were trolled by Mark Dice. Mark Dice pretended to be a student. I guess some shooting happened, and he called into Fox and pretended to be Fox has gone down the rabbit hole. Boy, did they go down the rabbit hole. Sad what happened. That's what happens when you go woke. You go completely off hinged. I probably have watched, I'll be conservative. I've watched about 2 hours worth of content of Fox News since they fired Tucker Carlson. I used to watch Fox and Friends since they started in 1987 or 1997. I've always watched Fox and Friends in the morning. I quit watching them all. Brian Kilmeade was all in on this Ukraine war. I said, you know what, Brian? You have no idea what you're talking about. They all probably took the jabs 5 or 6 times. They were forced to. I would never do it. Just that they sold their soul out, really. They sold their soul, really. What they did. You're probably saying, well, what solutions do you have, Brian? I don't really have solutions. I mean, I do, but I was telling my wife last night, we went to go see we went to dinner last night before I left on my trip. And I was telling her last night that, Toyota's going all in on hydrogen cars. And I said, in a real world, the one thing that would propel our country to be the greatest nation on earth, which in a sense we were back in the 1940s and 50s. I think the heydays of the United States were between 1940 and 1965, maybe. Those were the heydays of America. And probably between 1890 and 1900, before the progressives came aboard. But if we had free energy, and what I mean by hydrogen, so everybody had a hydrogen Genesis or a Generex, kind of a generator at home, that all they'd have to do is just split the water. It would split the water, hydrogen, oxygen, and it would just automatically make electricity with a generator. With your own little generator. Yeah, every house had one. That'd be free energy. Now, can you imagine a factory having a huge hydrogen plant that would just make free energy for them? This country would go to a $20 trillion economy. The world would say, oh man, how do we stop this? They'd have to emulate it. The problem is, here's the problem is you have these neocons, these environmentalist nutcase, these anti-Godders, these globalist wackos that think the earth is limited. We can only put so many people on it. And I would say to them, you're full of crap. We can contain 10 times the people. We produce more food than we know what to do with. You know, in America, we produce more corn than we really need. Okay, and we don't even use half of the fields to farm. I mean, I'm driving now from here to Vegas, and there are states that literally have nobody living in them. Well, we can't live there. Oh, really? Well, tell that to what's his name in 19. What did he do? That Bugsy Malloy back in 1939 or 30 that decided to create a city in Las Vegas. They thought he was nuts. So don't tell me that we cannot build a city anywhere in the United States. You could build it anywhere. Okay, I'm gonna get gas right here. Exit 119. We got Loves right here, baby. Loves, baby. Loves. Gonna go to Loves. Gonna go to Loves for gas. Gonna go to Loves for gas. Yeah, baby, we're going to Loves. We're going to Loves for gas. Yeehaw, cowboy. There's a snake in my boot. $3.19. Oh, yeah, man. Plus, I saved 10 cents. That means I get it for $3.10. Holy moly. Oh, my gosh. For the love of Mike. I'm going to Loves for gas. I'm going to Loves for gas. Now, I already stopped at one Loves, and the truck sets are not out. They're not due out until October, or the 20th of October. Let me see. Let's see here. Why my screen is so dark. Is my glasses dark? No, they're not that dark. Mike, not in a loving mood. For the love of Mike. Oh. This is Brian's rant page. Yes, this is my rant page. So just if you guys don't understand, Mr. Bryan Young or Carter Young on YouTube is my rant page. Now we're going to be doing other videos on Pro Tinker. So there's 3 ways you can hear me. This is my rant. Okay. Mike, this is my rant. And then I have ProTinkerToys.com. And so we're stuck in traffic because we've got a flagman basically stopping us from moving. And so I can't go to Love's gas station. But I can save 10 cents a gallon, which I'm going to do that. That's one of the nicest things about Love's is that I can save 10 cents a gallon, which is only $1, but you know what? It's better than nothing. Now, I do have to take a leak. So I'm going to be leaving you guys alone here in the car by yourself. So I want you to behave, okay, as you're talking to one another. I'll turn my camera around so you guys can view. See, here. Let me see if I can get this camera adjusted here. You gotta be kidding. I'm wasting all this time. Come on. love of Mike. Well, they got traffic all backed up. I don't know why this screen is so dark. Oh well. Well, they got a flag man up there. There's road construction over the highway pass. Well, that's not working. I'm going to eat after my live stream. I already ate lunch at... What time did I have lunch? 10 o'clock? No, I stopped at 10. I think 9 o'clock I had lunch at 9. I took a nap, fell asleep, and woke at 1 o'clock. Okay. Okay, this is ridiculous, you guys. You're gonna have to open this up. You got too many people on the interstate. You can't just let traffic go forever. You're gonna have to stop it here a minute. They don't know how to do traffic management. I swear they don't know what they're doing. It's not they know what they're doing. They just, they hire. Oh, never mind. Come on. Yeah, they just keep letting cars go through. They just keep letting semis go through. Oh, well. Oh, now they're letting us go. They better get a lot through here. If they stop only 1, 2 semi, they got problems. And now I have to go back this way too. That means I'm going to be stopped on that one. On the other direction, coming back. Oh, that'll be wonderful. Unless I go west and then turn around at the next. Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that either. I got to go bathroom, guys, so I'm gonna pump gas. Yeah, they're all just standing around. Nothing. I love it. I love how they just stand around. It takes 150 guys to do a two-guy job. Unbelievable. Oh, this is going to take forever to get out of here. Oh my goodness. Ha! Oh no. Oh my God, it's going to take forever to get out of here. Oh gosh. Oh well. I'm not leaving anytime soon, that's for sure. Oh, for the love of Mike. You know, for the love of Mike. You know, I wish I could just love Mike. You know, I never can love Mike. All I can do is for the love of Mike. You know what I'm saying? I never can really just love Mike. Because it's always because of the love of Mike. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys understand where I'm coming from? All right, so I am going to get gas. And I'm going to turn this the other way so you guys can see all the semis that are piled up here. And then I'm going to go to the bathroom too. So I got to do that. Here, I'll turn this around so you can see me while I'm pumping gas. I'm going to use my thingamajiggy. Now we're going to use my love coupons. Save 10 cents. Look at that. We just saved 10 cents, guys. I just saved 10 cents. Oh, wow. All right, let's fill this up with petroleum. Okay, so we got gas. We're getting gas right now. It's 3:09, so I saved 10 cents. So that was a good deal. And then I'm going to go in and going to relieve myself. I hope everybody understands. I only have 7 people watching. It's not like I have 100,000 people watching. One of these days I'll go viral, and then the money will start coming in. I'm at 14 gallons. It's whole 21 gallons. So I got my new health card from Kathy. The deductible's gone up. I tell you, that's another thing. I could go into the healthcare system in this country. Obamacare just destroyed it in America. Destroyed it completely. Costs gone up. Everything's up. You want to know the problems? Progressives. They destroyed this country, plain and simple. And what do you do? What do you do? Where do you go? Unbelievable. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to do something that most people don't do. I'm going to go park. People just keep their cars here. I got to go bathroom quick because they're going to be opening up the other traffic for the other lane pretty soon. And I don't want to be stuck on the other end. So I got to hurry up. I better hurry up. So I got to do this fast. So I'll be right back, guys. Real quick. Okay, I gotta hurry up. Traffic's flowing. I gotta catch this groove. Gotta go, baby. Go, go, go. Go, baby, go. Gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here. Go, go, go. Move, move, move. Come on, let's go. We gotta catch this groove here. I gotta catch this cycle here. Come on, man. Oh, good. Come on, let's go. Go, go, go. Come on, man. I can't stand. I can't stand here. Move it. Move it. Oh, yeah, baby. Ah, made it. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, I just was the last person. Oh my gosh. Oh, he got one more truck in. Oh man, that was close. Holy cow, did I make it. For the love of Mike, did I make it. They got one-way traffic here. And I got to get east. I got to get on the other side of this highway. They got one traffic. One-way traffic. I'm sorry, one-way traffic, not one traffic. Ha 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 ha. Captain? Oh, so there's, hey, I meant to say, if you want to see a good movie, I mean a really good movie, it's a religious movie, but it's not over the top, you know. A lot of these Christian films can be over preachy, you know. This and acting in this movie is, to me, it's better than anything I've seen in Hollywood in years. Oh no, that was a internet outage. If you want to see a movie, take your wife to, or even your kids. It's a great movie. He didn't have anything. Phil Robinson, man, his mom was kind of crazy in the head. And Cy, I love Cy because you got to see Cy as a teenager and as a kid, and then he went into the military. He was kind of the focus point for Phil Robinson, you know, during his growing up. And it's a fun and family movie. You know what I'm saying? And it just talks about some man's redemption. You know, he was just going down the wrong path, and he thought he was going to lose his wife, and it ended up that he didn't. And Phil Robinson, he was gonna be. What's so funny about it is that Terry Bradshaw was his backup quarterback. Phil Robinson was the primary quarterback, and Terry Bradshaw was the backup. That's how good Phil Robinson was at football. He was basically his high school quarterback, and he said, "I want to go after ducks." He told Terry Bradshaw, "You go for the Bucks. I'm going for the Ducks." And you know, that's his life. That's Phil Robinson's life. It's kind of an interesting story. Okay, so we just filled up, and we now have 420 miles. I can go 420 miles without a fill up. Now, people probably wonder, okay, why are you watching this live stream? Well, you basically are watching me drive to Las Vegas because I'm going to the National Hobby Retailers Association in Vegas. I've been doing that show since 1996, or 97 was the first one I did. 1996. And so I've been doing the show since 96, and I'm committed to it, you know. And so it's a great for retailers. I like to talk to the retailers, and so we're going to be showing up. We're going to be doing a lot of live streams there. We're going to be doing basically four hour shows, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So Monday we're going to be doing a morning show from 9 to noon, and then evening show will be like 2 to 6 every day. And we're going to be new products. We're going to show new products off at the show. We got the new semis, the new all the new cars we brought with us. We brought the new BRE set, Brock Racing Enterprises set, or the Bree set, I guess they call it. And then we've got the new Rally 4x4. So that's the new 2-lane or 4-lane set, man. That is a great set. You buy 30 straight, holy cow. I think that's the best set ever right now for price wise. the Rally 4x4, because then you buy 30 straights, and now you can just do a huge 30 foot, or which is about 30-foot track, because each track is 18 inches. So that's 30-foot track. You'll have a 40-foot track. I know how to build layouts. We're going to do a lot of layout sets. We're going to be doing a lot of videos on sets and everything. I can't do any. You know what the problem is right now? I don't have anybody to help me. And Ryan's down at the mattress store. Mac, don't get me wrong, Mac's a good employee, but he's not a. Well, he is. He's a nice guy, but I don't think he's a. We need somebody there, Daniel, and I can't do as much as I'd like unless I have another. I don't know what to do. I'm really frustrated right now, but I'm going to Vegas. I'm going to have a good show. I want to have a great show in Vegas, and that's my goal. We bought a lot of product. I got a van full of product. I just want to show retailers. You know what? My whole goal is retailers need to carry slot cars like they would carry RC, but they just have never. I've been trying to do this. I was almost there with SCX Digital. I had a lot of retailers committed to, but they didn't commit enough product. There was not enough product, and SCX had somewhat a good product line, and I had a lot of retailers doing really well. And now it's just like they don't commit enough for slot cars. And to me, slot cars should be. I honestly think that if a retailer commits to slot cars like they commit to RC, that it will. I don't need to. They'll be selling sets as fast as they can stock them. It's convincing them, and I've been doing it for 20 years. I can't believe it. I've been doing it for 20 years. Oh my gosh, I've been doing it since 1996. 1996 is when I started. The first show I did was 1996. I did the Richter show in Chicago, Rosemont Convention. Huge show. Boy, that was, whoa. That's when retail was in its prime, 96. Now it's dead. Retail is dying in America, and it's Amazon. I don't want to say it's Amazon's fault, but I really think it's the government's fault. I really think it's progressive policies, it's high wages, it's regulatory regulations. The government has gotten itself into every little aspect of business in America, and it shouldn't have anything in business. The government, the federal government. Now states, again, this is states. Now if you've got an idiot state that wants to do it, that's fine. Now those companies can go to other states. And what they're doing is a lot of these companies are just pulling out of California. They're saying, we're not going to do business in California. We're just not going to do it anymore. And honestly, I think the automobile industry, if they said that, if I was Ford Motor Company, I would say, we're no longer going to sell cars in California. You're going to go down this path. We are no longer selling cars in California as of this date. So if you want to set 35, fine. In 2035, we're no longer going to sell cars in California. They're not going to be available. We are not going to sell cars in California. They want to go all this green crap, all these electric cars. Try going electric car from here to Vegas. How long it would take you. I can do 412 miles on this tank right here. I know that's my range, 412. I don't need to worry about it. 412 miles is going to get me. And I know that I'm going to stop at either a Love's, and it's going to take me about 4 minutes to fill that tank, and I'll have another 407 miles. You can't change that. You can't debate it. You can't argue it. That's what's going to happen. So go suck that egg. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you the facts. You know, people, they want to go down this electric stuff. You know, Elon Musk, you know, he's got a great brain, you know, these rockets and the Falcon 9, and that's kind of cool, but maybe it's helping him to manufacture stuff. I think he's manufacturing cars better than they've ever been, and maybe you should just go and start building, find yourself a real efficient engine and start building combustible engines. Because that's what he's done. He's created the gigafactory to make a car very quickly, which Ford, GM, and all these other companies haven't figured out yet. And so if he can make a car quickly and inexpensive, then just put a regular engine in it. Just put a regular engine in it. Get an efficient combustible engine, very efficient, and hydrogen would be the case. That's why if I was Toyota, I would be going with Tesla and said, hey, let's build Tesla cars in your gigafactories, and we'll put our new hydrogen engine in it. I mean, the fact of the matter is that oil is everything we do is oil, okay? Everything. You know, the half this car is made of plastic, okay? Your cell phones, 80% is plastic. Well, maybe not 80, maybe 50. But all this unbelievable. Now, why is my other phone going off? Now, why is my one phone off and my other one didn't go off? Well, that didn't make sense. So that emergency alert went off at 2 o'clock. I think it was supposed to be 2:15, but my other cell phone didn't go off. Oh, now that one's going off. I don't care about your test. That's just government control. I don't want a federal test. That's the last thing I need is a federal test. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a conspiracy theory, okay? All right, so I'm going to tell you the ultimate conspiracy theory that there's out there, okay? And I've read this about 4 or 5 times throughout maybe the last 5 years, ever since Tim and I have been. So this is the conspiracy theory of all conspiracy theories, okay? So I just want you to know that this is not my idea. This is not, I don't necessarily believe it, but I don't necessarily deny it. I'm just going to present the conspiracy theory, and which will explain, if you start to look outside the box, it would explain everything that's going on, okay? It wouldn't explain everything, but it would give you an understanding of what's going on, okay? All right, so are you ready for this conspiracy theory? All right, you ready for this? Are we ready for the conspiracy theory? I know there's only 8 people watching, so I guess you guys want to watch whatever I say. All right, so this is the conspiracy theory that's been going on around the country and around the world. Okay, so in 2029, there is supposed to be a meteor that is supposed to come close to Earth. And it's called Apophis. And the government has been spending billions of dollars to prepare places for, I don't know, a certain amount of people to go into these shelters. And that is why, and they've known this for 30 years, okay? It's not that they've known this in the last 5 years, but they've known this for a while, that this meteor is going to hit the Earth, and it's going to do some damage. And all this money that's being spent, all of the chaos that's going on is really a diversion to keep us, why they spend all this money and they build all of these tunnels and fit out all these underground bunkers, okay? And that is why all of the, the debt is 31 trillion, because they don't care, because they know that whatever they have to do something so that life will continue, I guess, if that's what they want to say. Now, again, I'm not saying this. This is what I've heard over the last 7-8 years on the internet, on different channels. Different people will say something. And so I hear all this stuff. And then, so this asteroid called Apophis is supposed to hit in 2029. Now they said that, well, they don't think it's going to hit, and so, now all of a sudden it's all been, it's not. But they don't know is what I'm getting at. And that's why, I'm just making mention of it. And so you wonder, you go, okay, well then why all of a sudden are all these millionaires spending millions of dollars on all these bunkers? You ever think of that? Okay, they're spending all this money on these bunkers, especially like in Texas. They have this whole community of underground bunkers they're building, and you just wonder, well, wait a minute, does that's kind of odd, don't you think? And then I'm not saying I don't really care. I know what happens in Revelation. Wormwood hits the earth. A third of this is going to die. And then this is going to die. This is going to die. This is going to be a third of this, a third of that. I don't really care. It's going to happen sooner or later. And then what the leaders do, and what the people that are left after the great tribulation, or the great catching away. I don't want to say the rapture because that word's not in the chapter, but Ephesians and the great catch away, is all hell is going to break loose. And then they're going to curse God. All the tribulations, the boils, the seals, all that's going to be released on earth, and they're going to curse God. Listen, I just like, okay, but it would explain a lot of things. Okay, why are they spending this? Why are they spending that? Tesla's digging all these underground tunnels, with his new boring machine that just can cut right through. He's building all these underground, especially in Vegas. But there is one thing that is going to be very obvious, okay? Is here's the thing that here's the thing that the media and the scientist community, here's where they get it wrong, Okay, they don't believe Earth is as resilient as it is. Okay, so for example, Mount St. Helens, they predicted that Mount St. Helens, that after that erupted, that it would be hundreds of years or 100 years before anything would grow there. And in less than a year, plants had already started growing. The Earth had already filtered out all of that dust. And they always like to talk the Ice Age, that we're going to be thrown into an Ice Age. Now, it might get cold for a couple of years, but I guarantee you that within 2 or 3 years, maybe even 1 year, the Earth would have cleaned itself and got itself together again, and life would have gone on. Now, that's just my opinion, and I'm just throwing this out as conversation because you guys love me to talk about dumb things, and so I'm just telling you what I've been told or what I've heard about stories about this, or this, okay? And none of this would, so just so you know, none of this would surprise me, okay? The only thing that's going to surprise me well, there's only one thing that's going to surprise me, but I'm not going to be surprised because I'm already going to be gone, is during the big catch away. During the rapture, I guess you want to call it. But then I'm not going to even know one's going to be standing. You believe that or not, I don't really care. It's going to happen. And we've had 2,000 years from creation to Noah. We have 2,000 years from Noah to Jesus, and we've had 2,000 years from Jesus to today. Now, do you notice anything different about that or anything coincidental? It's 2,000 years. That's about what it takes for man to finally get to the point where he's absolutely nuts. Stop human trafficking. It would be so easy to stop human trafficking. All you have to do is catch these people and don't ever let them go. That's what you do. You catch these guys trying to smuggle kids and you sell them into slavery for the rest of their lives. You put them in bondage. If they're trying to sell a child or a woman or anybody else, you catch them, you put them into bondage for the rest of their lives. You sell them as a slave. And you let them know that if you're caught trafficking a human being, you're going to be bound to the rest of your life. I'll tell you, they put a stop to that real quick. See, that's why people always say, well, you can't legislate morality. Oh, yes, you can. That's for sure you can. In a righteous country, yes, you can. You got to be careful, though. You have to have righteous men. You can't have corruption. That's the hard part about it. Finding a righteous man. That's scriptures. A righteous man availeth much. Righteous. He's got to have a righteous man, basically. He treats his brother as himself. It's kind of like David. I relate a lot to David. David is really, so I've had 6 kids, I already had 6 kids. I had Kimberly. We had Ryan. And then we had Derek for about a month. We lost Derek. Then we had Daniel. We had Lincoln and Catherine. So we had 6 kids. And, I made mistakes with my 6 kids. I got done things this or done things that. And then I adopted these 4 kids. Frankie, David, Mark, and Missy. David, Frankie, Missy, Mark. Mark's the oldest. And I told Mark, I said, Mark, there's nothing you can do that's going to surprise me. And it's probably come up to be about true, And, but David is very unique, okay? And And I look at David as my last hurrah, in a sense. And on his, and I haven't told him this, but on his graduation, I want to take him on a tour of the United States, like I did back in 1984. I want to get in my camper, if it's a camper or a tent, but I want to take him on a journey around the United States, and I want to redo the exact trip that I had back in 1984 when I took Stephen Weary and Reggie Strickland around the United States. And I'll be 72 years old. All right? It's not that far away. And I want to take him, I want to do one last hurrah around the United States. I want to show him the country. I want to bond with him. I want to let him know that I love him and that I'm not going to be around here when he becomes when he's 40. Okay? That's going to be what? He's 10 years old this month. So that's 30 years from now. So 30 years from now, I'll be 94 years old. 94? Let's see. Hold on a second. 64, 74, 84, 94. I'll be 94 years old 30 years from now. And he'll be 40 years old, David will. Okay? And so when he gets into his prime, 40, 50, 60, when he gets into those years, I'll be long gone. But I want to instill to him the right type of man that he needs to be. And that's what my of right now, and I'll continue my story about David and my final journey, and kind of show him the America and all that the majesty is.